I'm here with Dr. Barbara Korn, who is one of my favorite veterinaries.
Thank you.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about basic things people should know about pets. So if I want to get a pet, what are basic things I should know before I choose?
Well, you should know what your lifestyle is. If you are sedentary, then you should not get a hyperactive dog. You don't want to get like a hunting dog, like a beagle or something that needs to be exercised all the time. So if you're not very strong, you need to get a smaller dog.
So if you go to take them for walks, they don't drag you around.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to go for a facial on the cement. So
I know some of the rescues and even sometimes the Humane Society will try to match people up with their pets. And maybe breeders don't always do that, but it does make a difference. If you have young kids, what type of animal you get.
Exactly. Yeah, some people get dogs that have a tendency to be more aggressive, and that's not a good family dog.
No.
You want to make sure that you have a good family dog. One of the best that I can think of, and they almost train themselves, is the golden retrievers.
Oh, they're so sweet.
I mean, I have never seen a mean one at all. I've seen a couple unruly ones where people just absolutely didn't do anything with them.
That's the fault of the people,
exactly.
Not the dogs.
And most of the time, any of the behavioral problems are the fault of the people.
Training is so important, especially for dogs. They're a pack animal. They look to you to be the leader, and if you don't lead, then they go off and do their own thing.
Well, yeah, then they feel that they have to lead, and that's where the problems come in.
So how important do you think it is, especially if you're getting a puppy, to have training for a dog?
I think it's absolutely important. For one thing, it bonds you with that pet. They are excited because they get to go and socialize with the puppies and other people. And socialization is incredibly important. And they get, they do the training and everything. They get satisfaction out of that. And it gives them something to do, too. It gives them a job, which is really important for dogs. Dogs like jobs. So, and they like to go places, and they like to interact.
They're social animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Okay, now if I adopt a puppy, how long of a commitment should I be looking at? How much time?
Well, I mean, some of these guys are living to be, depending on the size of the dog. I've even had big dogs that live 14, 15 years. But the smaller dogs can even live up to 20, 21.
So that's
little poodles.
That's a long commitment, and you have to be willing to make that commitment because you can't change your mind in the middle of the dog's life. That's devastating.
That is so unfair.
Yeah, and I know that some of the rescues, they charge adoption fees. What all goes into an adoption fee?
The adoption fee, when you get a dog that's adopted, they have already spayed that dog or neutered that dog. It has all the vaccines, the heartworm test, and microchipped.
Why is microchipping so important?
Because if the dog gets loose and it ends up at the shelter, you wave the wand over them and it picks up the number. And then that number can be traced and traced back to the owner or to the rescue.
Exactly. So if, for example, I've even heard of cases where the owner and the dog were in a car. It was in an accident. The dog got scared, ran off, but they found the owner because the dog was chipped.
Right. Or if you look at the case like Katrina, when that disaster happened. You know, there was a lot of dogs wandering around that didn't, they were homeless, and the owners couldn't find them.
No,
But
no.
if,
And a
if they
lot
would
of
have
the
been chipped, then they could have found their owners.
and a lot of shelters for storms and things like that don't accept people's pets. That's why some people wouldn't leave their homes.
Right.
So I would think that if you're living in an area that's prone to have hurricanes or floods or severe storms, that you have a plan in advance for what's going to happen to your animal.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely microchip them.
That's essential.
That's a no-brainer.
Okay, do I have to spend a lot of money on food?
No, and this business of, you know, the grain-free diets, they're not allergic to grains.
Fattens them up better.
They're not allergic to grains. They're allergic to, if a dog is going to be allergic to a food, which doesn't occur that often, but if they are, then it's going to be the protein that's in the food. Like chicken, they can be allergic to beef, chicken, pork. And what you want to do is you want to switch to a diet that has a novel protein in it.
Lamb or rabbit or
Well, lamb's
duck?
not even considered that anymore. It's
No.
contaminated. But
Oh.
rabbit, duck, buffalo, and venison would be. Now, a lot of your over-the-counter foods, though, contain other things that they don't even list on the... So you're really better off getting a prescription diet.
Yeah, and you have to read the label, even though that's
Exactly.
awful to try to translate it, but it's better to do that ahead of time. And there are sites that you can go to that list the different kind of foods and how they're rated and what their
Right.
ingredients are.
And please make sure none of the ingredients are from China. So
They don't follow rules. They don't even follow rules for people, and
No.
animals they could care less.
Exactly.
That's so we talked about training, we talked about food, basic vet care. How often should you go with your dog to the vet?
Depends on the age of your dog. Like if you have a puppy, they're going to be going every 3 weeks for vaccines until they're 16 weeks of age when they get their rabies in the final series. So, and then your older, like the adult dogs, it should be probably yearly or bi-yearly.
Until they get to be seniors?
Yeah, until they get to be seniors. Seniors, I would watch a little bit more closely.
Yeah, I've heard that it's better when they get to be seniors if you do like a basic blood panel and have all that so you can have something to compare it to if things change.
Like a baseline.
Yeah,
a baseline blood work, yeah, so you can compare it.
Now, one of the things that you do that I love is you go to people's homes.
Mm-hmm. We do all the veterinary care in their home.
If somebody has questions or they want to talk to you, I know you have a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's called BC Veterinary Home Care. And you can ask me questions on there.
That seems fair. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit. We talked about the doggies. What about the kitties?
Yeah, we can't leave out our kitties.
Yes.
So, yeah, they do quite well in, in their home environment for their exams. And that sometimes we have cats that go to the clinic and they just wig out. And we have them at the house and they're fine.
Yeah, they're just scared.
Tell the owners to lock them in the bathroom.
Well, I know I have more than one cat. And I know I have experienced the one going to the vet and coming back and smelling like the vet. And the others immediately hissing at them.
Shunning.
Yeah. Oh, you stink like vet.
Yeah, yeah.
And one thing about cats is, as well as dogs that you should consider, is the amount of time you have available for grooming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, cats will groom themselves, sometimes not as well when they get to be seniors.
Right.
But if you have a very long-haired cat as opposed to a short-haired cat, you're going to have to help them out and spend some time with the grooming and
Exactly.
either take them in or do it yourself.
Yeah, have them shaved down if they're getting matted. Because a lot of times when they're older, they just can't.
They can't
They
keep
can't
them.
reach the places, and their tongue reaches a certain place, and then it kind of gathers up all the fur, and you start getting mats, and it can be really bad. And then you got your older cat; it may be a little sore,
Yeah.
so it can't reach back there. So, yeah.
So, along with food bowls and water bowls, you need to have some good combs and brushes,
Mm-hmm.
and take into consideration how sensitive your pet's skin is.
Right.
You know, you're not going to use the same comb or brush on a husky that you would for a little Siamese kitty.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And cats also are a long-term time investment. Shipping them is essential too.
And they live into their 20s, so
Yes.
you're thinking that it's a long time. You have to keep up with their nail trims too. The worst thing I see is the nails growing into the pads,
Oh,
and
it's
that happens with
heartbreaking.
dogs too. And the nails should be trimmed probably every 3 weeks.
I wrestle with mine. Well, Barb, I want to thank you for sitting down and talking to me. And next time we'll talk about beyond just the regular basic necessities for pets. And maybe we'll even get to answer some of the questions that post on Facebook.
Okay, sounds good.